Hi, I'm Ross from EGR, and today I have the pleasure. I'm joined by Thomas Metzger, who is the CEO of the startup Lotto.com. Thomas, a pleasure, and how are you doing?
Hi, Ross. Thank you so much for having me today. Obviously, it's early days, so we are putting in long hours at the office, but no complaints.
That's great to hear. Well, it's great for you to join me. And let's kick off by talking a little bit about your experience in the gaming world and also the technology.
Sure. So I hate to admit it, but I have over 20 years of experience in the gaming and lottery space at this point. I started my career at Bear Stearns back in the good old days or the bad old days, depending upon who you ask. And so I started at Bear Stearns back in 2000, and I was in their gaming group, which at the time was ranked #1 on the street. And we did a lot of high-profile deals, including taking Wynn public and Scientific Games, for example. After Bear Stearns, I left and went to work for Lauren Wheel, the then chairman and CEO of Scientific Games. So I really had a great opportunity to get into the gaming industry very quickly. So after Scientific Games, I spent 2 years at Camelot, the operator of the UK National Lottery, which was my first introduction to what we call iLottery here in the US. Camelot really does a great job of cross-selling their online channel. If you look at their latest report, they have over 40% of their sales coming from the online channel. And Europe is really about 20 years ahead of the US in terms of the growth cycle. So I really value my time there at Camelot because it was a great introduction at a great time. And then after a small stint outside of gaming and lottery, I got pulled back in and started working for Lotto.com in 2018. So I've been there since inception.
That's great. And just speaking a little bit about the US and Europe and the 20 years difference, what would you say the current state of digital iLottery is in the US at the moment?
Sure. It's a little bit of a head scratcher, quite honestly, because the OLC, the Office of Legal Counsel, put out an opinion in 2011 that explicitly made it legal for all state lotteries to run their own online lottery site. And since 2011, we've only seen 9 states take them up on that. So there's currently only 9 states out of 50 here in the US that are currently selling their own products online. In my view, this just creates a tremendous opportunity for private companies like myself to really grow that online channel on their behalf.
Great.
And so if you look, sorry, one more thing. If you look at the overall market, less than 1% of the $90 billion US market is currently online, which is just mind-blowing considering it's 2021. Now, some people might challenge that number. The differentiator that I put on it is that most of the online lottery sales in iLottery in the US are actually not coming from lottery sales. They're coming from something called what they call electronic instants, which is really just a euphemism for slot machines. And these online slot machines that they're offering in places like Michigan and Pennsylvania are really slot machines with a 90+% payout. And so I take those out of the equation when I consider what percentage of the lottery market is actually online. And so for lottery couriers like ourselves, we're only selling draw-based games like Powerball and Mega Millions, et cetera. And we're not selling slot machines, and we're not even selling scratch-offs. And so we're really looking to grow the lottery market that has a 50% payout and is much more profitable for the state operators.
Great. What else can you say about Lotto.com in terms of what makes you guys a little bit different?
Sure. So as I mentioned, the company was founded in 2018, and we started building a bespoke lottery courier platform from scratch. And so we really put the user first, in addition to also building it as a true e-commerce platform. So we really don't view lottery as a gambling activity, and we view ourselves as really a service provider or a delivery service. And so we're just delivering official state lottery tickets from the retailer to the user at home. And so we're really not targeting existing gamblers. We're not even targeting existing lottery players that enjoy playing at retail. So we announced a partnership with QuickCheck, who's the #1 land-based lottery retailer here in New Jersey. And we're not trying to change the behavior of the gentleman who enjoys going to QuickCheck in the morning and getting his cup of coffee and buying a lottery ticket. we're really trying to grow the overall player base. So the top of the sales funnel that doesn't currently play lottery, we want to attract those new players who are younger, wealthier, and more tech savvy than the current demographics that U.S. lotteries experience. And so we're really trying to create incremental players, incremental sales, and incremental profits for the state lotteries we work with. One other important differentiation between us and or that we feel very passionate about is we don't require an app download. So players can visit lotto.com and buy one Powerball ticket if they want, and check out. And once they enjoy that experience, we hope they'll come back. Whereas what we've seen in the industry to date is, again, that you have to download an app and then you have to pre-fund a wallet. And here in the US, as I mentioned before, we're about 20 years behind Europe. Players don't have the same confidence in online wagering that they do over on your side of the pond. And so we really want to build our customers' trust by allowing them to buy one ticket and see how quickly they get their order fulfilled and they have a great experience and they come back. And it's actually starting to really ring true, because we've seen approximately 80% of our customers actually return for a second purchase, which is incredible.
So you're obviously doing really big things at the moment. It's a very short time frame as well for Lotto.com. Could you talk a bit about that journey?
Well, I hate to be cliche, but it was really a typical startup experience. The first play slips that we actually printed in my living room, and then took those play slips and brought them to QuickCheck to test them. So it was a true startup experience, and it was actually during the pandemic. So I'm very proud I'm very proud of the fact that we were able to build a team during the pandemic. I'm thankful to my entire team for working through it, and we've opened 2 offices and hired a full team here in the U.S. during the pandemic, which I think is pretty remarkable. In addition to that, we also had to go through certification of our technology. So we chose the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement, also known as the DGE Lab, as our third-party independent certification lab. And we think they did a great job. So you're talking about our timeline. In addition to starting out with printing play slips in my living room, we also went through certification and licensing and compliance and the full licensing process during the pandemic. So we think that's a pretty remarkable achievement.
Indeed. And forward thinking, okay, do you see Lotto.com expanding outside of New Jersey? And if so, when and if does that look realistic?
Sure. So as you know, we announced our strategic partnership with QuickCheck in June, and June 3rd was our official launch date. I think you're going to see some exciting press releases from us in the coming weeks and coming months. But that being said, we designed our platform, as I mentioned, bespoke from scratch for Lottery Courier, and we took into consideration that every state here in the U.S. is almost like a different country, and so we built our platform modular so that it can very easily be modified state by state depending upon that state's regulations. So we actually believe we can expand fairly quickly, and we are targeting at least 3 or 4 states this year. It's certainly an exciting time in the U.S. lottery industry. We're really just looking forward to executing, creating new partnerships with state lotteries here in the U.S. And we really believe what we say about creating incremental sales, incremental players, and truly growing the returns to good causes. As you may or may not know, here in the state of New Jersey, the New Jersey Lottery contributes over $1 billion a year to good causes. Here in New Jersey, it is state employees such as firemen and teachers and things like that who can really use the money. And in most states here in the U.S., it's education. So we really believe that we're not only doing well, but doing good. So we also want to grow returns to good causes.
Well, as a member of EGR, we do look forward to supporting you, and I personally look forward to working with you and having a chat with you in a few months' time. So thank you again, and I'll let you get back to your busy day.